All right, here's what we're trying to make. We're trying to make this mandala, and then we're going to try to print it out with the laser printer. So we'll see how it goes. So you have a startup file, and you have one layer here called guides, right? So there's something in here already, but we're going to add a couple of things, right? So the first thing I want to do is add some more guides. So I'm going to go to my lined tool. Where's that? I guess I got to put it over here. So I'm going to go to my line tool, and I'm going to make a line straight down the middle. Right there it is, straight. So keep it straight by holding Shift. I want to make sure that it's straight. So first, I'm going to press I and make it a dashed line. You see, so it's a dashed line, and I'm going to center it. So center it. So that's perfectly centered. Great. Now I'm going to make some more guides, right? So I'm going to go to Effects, Distort, and Transform. I'm going to do 15 degrees, and I'm going to do, I think, is it 12? Yeah, 12. So make 12 copies, okay? So now we have a little bit of a structure here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to call this Mandala, right? And I'm going to lock this layer. So this layer now is locked. You can hide it. You see everything is hidden, but I'm going to work on this one. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this little piece right here. So I'll show you this one right here. It kind of looks like a pedal, right? It looks like a pedal. So let's make that, right? So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and it's going to be in this region right here. So watch how I do it, right? So I'm going to go, remember this is hidden, yeah. So I'm going to go and I'm going to start here. I'm just going to click, and I'm going to click here and drag, okay? Then I'll come back to this point right here and click again. Not satisfied with the shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this tool to unanchor. You see these two right now? If I move them, they kind of move together. See these anchors, you see, they move together, but I want to separate them. So there's a tool right over here called anchor point. And what you do, if you select it, it'll unhinge them. And then I'm going to go back to my white selection tool, and I'm going to shape this, right? So let me shape it, right? Think I'm going to make it look like this, right? Try to make it look symmetrical. By the way, this should be not dashed. So I'm going to go to the stroke, and I'm going to get rid of that dash. So let me zoom in a little bit, right, to get a better look at this, right? And at this point, I could hide my guides just for a second, right? So how does this look? Looks pretty good, right? And I like it, right? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this up. I got to close this up. So I'm going to get the pen tool, and I'm going to close these two up. So it's a closed shape. And then I'm going to increase my stroke. Let's see. I think it was about, okay, 7, thickness maybe 6, right? So thickness, that thickness, but now I'm going to go to the object. Let's see, and I'm going to the path, and I'm going to say um, outline strokes. So now it's a filled object. It's not a line anymore, right? And let me get my, so you see there it is, right? And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to use again um, my effects tool. And if I go to transform and I start transforming, let's say 30 degrees, right? You see, and I click down here at the bottom, it's not anchored to the bottom here, right? So I'm going to have to make a quick decision here. I'm going to cancel. And what I'm going to do, watch, So it rotates around the center, is I'm going to make a line through the center right here to the center. See? And maybe move it to the left a little bit. See, and I'm going to group these two. And if I group it, then I think it's going to work. So now if I have these two selected and I go to effects and I go to, what is it, distort and transform, and I click down arrow and I say 30 degrees. See, it's going from the center here. I'm going to make 12 copies, right? See, so that really worked nicely, right? I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to take these two, I'm going to expand and ungroup. So that's our first step. That's our first step. By the way, I'm going to select all and show you that we have an outline here. We have an outline, and let me hide this again. You see we have an outline of the two, but I want to combine them. So I'm going to select all of them again, and I'm going to go to my Pathfinder, and I'm going to combine them, unite them into one shape. So there it is. I have that one shape, and I'm ready to go. So I'm kind of have this one shape right here. I guess I could have used 60 instead of 30. I will have less of them. Anyway, we have more than we definitely have more than we need. It looks like a flower too. So it's okay. I'm gonna stick with it, right? I'm gonna stick with it. Okay, let's go to the next step, right? So the next step is these little two circles, right? It's gonna cut into that to those other pieces, right? So I'm going to show my layers again, and I'm talking about this circle right here. So I'm going to lock everything. It's a good idea. So I'm going to select all, Control A, and I'm going to lock it, right? So I'm going to go to Object, and I'm going to say Lock All, Lock Selection, right? I can unlock it later, but anyway, I don't want to mess with it, right? What I have already. So I'm going to get the circle, ellipse, and I'm going to go to the center again, right? So center, and I'm going to hold Shift and Alt, and I'm going to go to here. Okay, there it is. And I don't need this anymore, right? And I'm going to do another one. So if I press V, deselect, get the circle again, and I'm going to go to the center. There it is. And I'm going to go a little higher, right? Let me see, higher or lower? Maybe lower, right? So something like this, right? So I have two of them now. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to cut these and I want to group them again, right? Unite them with the Pathfinder. So the first one is I'm going to select a color, a nice color here for the inside one, right? And then this one in the background, I'm going to right click and actually send to the back. So it probably is in the back already, but anyway, I'm going to select that color. Okay, so now, remember everything's locked, so I'm okay. I'm not going to interfere. I'm going to go to my Pathfinder and I'm going to subtract. And now I don't need this fill anymore. And now I'm going to unlock everything, right? So unlock all. I'm going to select all and I'm going to unite. And wow, there it is. I have my little section here. So far, so good. Okay, let's keep on going. So now I like this little piece right over here at the top, right? And I'm going to make that. So that is simply, again, I'm going to show my guides, and this will be right at the top. So I can zoom in a little bit right over here. And that's kind of like a rectangle. So I'm going to get a rectangle, right? And again, I'm going to make it at the top. So if I hold Shift, see, actually, if I hold Alt, it makes it a center rectangle, right? So hold Alt, and I'm going to make it, I guess, up to here, right? Something like this. Okay, so that looks about right, you see, on that little piece right there. Okay, so now I want to zoom out. I got the same issue. If I tried to transform this, I want to transfer it from the center. So I'm going to make a line again, right? I'm going to make a line straight down from the center. See, straight down, straight line to the center, right? I could move it over a little bit, And I'm going to take these two and I'm going to group them. So group them and I want to center them. I make sure they're centered. Let's see. So was a little off. I'm going to bring it back. Okay. So okay, I'm going to just let it go, right? So now again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to effects, distort, transform. So you remember this was 30 degrees and I think these were 12. Oops, I forgot to click down here at the bottom. But I'm going to cancel this just for a second and hide this. A lot of this is getting in the way. So here it is one more time. I'm going to go to effects, distort and transform, transform. Make sure it's clicked on the bottom here, 30 degrees. And I think it was 12. 12. So it could be a little shorter, right? So it was a little long. So I'm going to take this one, double click, and I'm going to scale it in, right? So I double click on this one, right? And press S and scale it in. So it was a little too long. See, if you press S, you can scale it in. Okay, we'll try it again. I see I'm in the group, so I'm going to get out to Mandala right here. Now I'm out and I'm going to select the group again and I'm going to effects, distort, transform, 30 degrees. And again down here, 12. And you see now it's doing it from the center. So I'm going to click OK. Now, it's a little off in certain places I could see, so I'm just gonna, well, I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to take this and I'm going to expand it and ungroup it. So ungroup it. So I could work on each individual. So I'm just going to move it over a little bit, you see, and this has to go down. So it wasn't perfect. Make sure it overlaps this little piece because I'm going to unite them and I do want them to overlap. So here, this one. Yeah, I didn't really get a good result on this. There it is, but it's okay. We'll just adjust it, right? And this one has to be in a little more. I want it to overlap. You see, overlap. This one, I'll just move it and overlap. This one's really bad, right? Overlap. So you see, just have to adjust it manually. So I guess I didn't have this centered perfectly down at the bottom, but it's the way it goes. So it's okay. And this one's okay. Okay, now I'm going to Control A and I'm going to go to my Pathfinder and I'm going to unite. So the nice thing is that line disappears, right? So that's really great. So far I got this and now I'm going to work on these other little pieces, right? All right, let's zoom out a little bit. Zoom out. I'm going to show my guides, right? So what I want to do is I want to draw a little bit of a triangle here at the top, right? So again, I might want to lock this. I don't want to move it. So I'm going to lock selection and I'm going to move to this little region right here. And I'm going to freestyle this in terms of, let's see, I'm going to zoom a little bit. So, so I'm going to get the pen tool and I'm going to be drawing on this, right? And I'm going to just click and down here. I want it to intersect, right? So I want it to intersect. And the next thing I want to do is to I want this to be perfectly symmetrical and I don't want to do it by eye. So I'm going to reflect this, right? So I'm going to go to reflection tool right here. Make sure this is selected. Let's get to the reflection tool again. And this is what you do. You click once, hold Option or Alt, and then click again, and you see it reflected. But it's not closed. So I'm going to close it up. So I'm going to take these 2 points right over here, and I'm going to close them. You see it says connect. And I'm going to take these 2 points right here. And actually, let me take a little look down here, see how this looks. I guess I could. Let's see. I'm going to connect them. I really don't need both of them over here. So watch this. I'm going to take this and I'm going to delete one of these points right here. Okay. And then, of course, I'm going to have to move this one over a little bit. Let's see. How does this one look? This one's okay, see? So, did I get this right over here? If I really zoom in, can I move it, try to move it to the center? I guess I can, right? Here, let me see if I move the whole thing. No, it looks okay. Okay, so now, again, we got that same issue. I want to transform this, but I need a straight line, right? So I'm going to do a straight line here, straight down to the center. Hold Shift, and I'm going to group these two. So group it. And now I can go to Effects, Distort, Transform. But this time I'm going to skip. So I'm going to do 60 degrees. Excuse me, 60 degrees. And I'm going to do six of them. Now, again, do it down here, center, down at the bottom. See? And I'm going to do six of them. So I'm kind of skip around. You see, there it is. I'm going to skip. Okay, now I need to expand, ungroup. Okay, I need to select, excuse me, I need to unlock everything, right? Unlock all. I'm going to select all, Control A, and I'm going to go to my Pathfinder and I'm going to unite. And let me hide this, and you see there they are nicely attached. Actually, I could have checked a little bit. They're off a little bit here. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. This one's a little off. I could see. I could have checked. So, but I'm gonna leave it, right? All right. I'm gonna do the same thing on this one, but just draw something a little different, you know? And so let me do that one. And um, so I'm gonna lock this again, right? So I lock this one object. I'm gonna lock selection, and I'm gonna work on this one. Um, so let's give it a try, all right? So again, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go and uh, maybe just a little different triangle. Because if you look, they're kind of triangles, but this one's a little different, right? So I'm going to go and I'm going to click here and I'm going to make this like narrower, you know, and maybe, let's see what looks good. I think something like this. And then make sure you go in there to intersect. Now, zoom in. So this one's it's not going to be easy to reflect. So I'm going to continue and just do it by eye. So I should have just continued. Let me try it again, right? So I'm going to click. I'm going to click. I'm going to click here, here. I'm going to adjust a little later. You see, that's not too bad here. And click. And I'm going to just see, is this, pretty straight right together? I could draw a line between them, but anyway, I think it's not too bad. See? So I just have to do it by eye. The reflection won't work here because it's at an angle, but this works anyway. So what's the deal? We have to draw a straight line again down the middle here, straight to the center, right? Okay. And I'm going to group these two. And this is nice because everything else is locked, so I'm not, going to be grouping other things that I don't need. Object group, and here we go, right? So I'm going to go to Effects, Transform, and click down here, 60 degrees again, right? And six, let's see, 60 degrees? Didn't really, let me see, something went wrong here. It's not, you see, it's because it's at an angle but it's not working. See, that 60-degree bit is not working. So watch what I'm going to do. Very slick here, right? Very slick here, I think. So I'm going to unlock everything. Now I could do it manually. Actually, let me do it manually. So I don't need this line. So it's really, I'm going to do it manually, right? But so here, watch this. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to just do it manually. So I'm going to get the rotation tool, click here, right? And watch this. And now I rotate it. Hold Option to make, when you get over here, hold Option or Alt to make a copy right here. And that looks pretty good. And now I'm going to Control D, or Control Command. And you see it just duplicates that. So that's not too, that worked, right? So now I'm going to, let me just check everything. I'm going to bring them in just a little bit more, right? I want it to um, overlap, right? So I'll make sure it overlaps. Otherwise, you can't unite them with the Pathfinder. So overlap, this one's not too bad, right? Overlap, this one straight up, overlap, and last one here, uh, overlap. And now I think I have everything unlocked, right? Unlocked. Okay. Control, select, Control A or Option A to select everything. And let's go to Pathfinder and unite. And let me go to the layers, hide my layers. And wow, it's looking pretty good, right? It's looking pretty good. Okay, let's go to the next step, right? I'm going to show my guides here, zoom out a little bit. And now I want to just cut this a little bit, but I see my this guide is not going to do it for me, so it's okay. I'll just make it a little longer. So I'm going to go to Ellipse tool. I'm going to go to the center, and I'm going to go right here, and I want to cut these. You see, right there. Okay, that's one. And then I'm going to press V, deselect. Do it again, make another, and I'm gonna go over here and a little higher. I want to get everything right. So, okay. So remember how I did this before? I have two of them. I'm gonna select the inside one. I'm gonna give it some color. I'm gonna select the outside one. I'm gonna give it some color. See, but it's covers it. So I'm gonna right click and send to the back. Okay. And now I'm gonna take these two. Now I didn't lock the other one, right? I should have locked the other one. So there it is. See, I should have locked it. So lock selection. Okay. And now I can go and I could do my Pathfinder bit. And I got that. I don't need the fill. And now I'm going to unlock, right? And I'm going to select all. Let's check, right? Remember this one, this layer is locked, so that's good. Don't need to see it. I'm going to select all. And I'm going to unionize. Okay, so now I got that done, but I really, uh, really have to watch out because when this is cut, some pieces are going to fall off, and the pieces that I want to fall off is these, right? But if I have it like that, almost everything is going to fall off because this is going to cut, and there's nothing holding these sections to the main part. This is the main part right here. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do some cutting, and I'm going to go and I'm going to press the C tool, and I'm going to actually show my guides, right? Show my guides, and I'm going to cut, zoom in a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I need to cut a little gap here. So press C for the scissor tool, see? And I'm going to cut right here and right here. And the inside part selected, I just delete. You see? So that means this whole section will be connected to uh, the larger section and it won't fall off. I'll do the same thing over here. Cut, cut. Now I didn't select what I wanted to, so I'll press this subselection tool. See, I want that one and press delete. So there's the gap. I'll see it better later. Get the selection tool, I mean the cutting tool right here, and then a gap right here, and that's selected. So there's the gap, and one more gap right here. Intersection, intersection. Selected. Gray, just to show you what we got here. You see, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pieces, right? Uh, uh, this piece, yeah. So we need to take this piece, that piece, and this piece right here. There's outside pieces, and I double click, so I'm inside the shape, right? And I'm going to scale it. So I'm going to get the scale to right here, S, and I'm going to click right in the middle, and I'm going to hold Shift, and I'm going to scale it out, and hold Option, so you get a copy, right? So press S, and there it is. And then here's the last bit. I'm going to connect these. So I'm going to connect this and this, and that. If I get that right, let's try it again. Maybe I should zoom in, right? So the pen tool, and just connect this anchor, great. And then anchor, great. Okay, and then here we go on the last one. I mean, next one, I should say. And here is this one, anchor. I think I have the bottom. And anchor. So zoom out. Okay, so if I zoom out, what you'll see is the laser printer will cut every line and certain sections that are not anchored to this main one. You see this main one here? This main one here. Actually, looks like it's locked or something. But this main, so this piece will be cut and fall out. This piece, you see, anything that's connected to the main, like these on the inside, won't fall, but this one will fall. This piece will fall. Anyway, you'll see when the laser cutter does its job. Certain pieces will fall off, and certain pieces will stay because they're anchored to the main part of the acrylic. So that's it.